Hi guys, over the last few days the SNP have been attending their party conference in Aberdeen, and its First Minister Nicola Sturgeon has had a number of things to deal with, one of them being a backlash from the media and her opponents over words, correct ones I might add, about the Tories and their policies. But Sturgeon and the SNP want to present a vision for the people of Scotland that couldn't be any more different than that of Tory Britain. Here the First Minister contrasts the party that hates foreigners with her own which wishes to welcome them. Have a listen to this.
But in the UK, we have a Westminster government intent on taking us down a different path. The current Home Secretary, speaking at the Conservative Party conference, said this about asylum seekers. And even as I quote her, I struggle to comprehend that she actually said these words. But here they are. I would love to be having a front page of the Telegraph with a plane taking off to Rwanda. That's my dream. It's my obsession. Conference, my dream is very different. I'm sure it is shared in this hall and by the vast majority across Scotland. My dream is that we live in a world where those fleeing violence and oppression are shown compassion and treated like human beings, not shown the door and bundled onto planes like unwanted cargo.
I think that's a vision that many people share, and it's not just in Scotland. I think it's also shared in Britain. But unfortunately, the people in charge in Westminster are chasing the racist vote. Now, I believe that the UK is already breaking up. You can see it here politically. You have a government in Westminster closing itself off from the rest of the world, trying to create some sort of North Korea of Europe, both in regards to immigration, in regards to borders, but also in regards to trade. They're more interested in doing terrible trade deals with countries on the far side of the planet than actually working with neighbours. Once again, as I said, the Tories are trying to chase the current shower of Tories. I'm not talking about the Conservatives of the past. They were more moderate. Instead, what you have now is you have this little England mentality that has taken over the Conservative Party. You could say it began with Brexit, and Brexit has turned politics and society toxic. And while Scotland wants to rejoin the EU, is enthusiastic about rejoining the EU, is building bridges with Europe, the Brexiteers who are in charge in England want to go in the opposite direction. They want to burn as many bridges as possible. Now, there are people within the Conservative Party who want to rebuild the connection with Europe, but at the moment the people who are in charge call the shots. They're the ones who are in the driving seat, and Liz Truss seems to want to burn as many bridges as possible. The current Tory party also want to hark back to the past, the 1950s, before the influx of migrants, the ones that actually helped build Britain. Back to a time when Britain used to be an empire, before it went cap in hand to Europe as the sick man of Europe. Now, the SNP and the Green Party in Scotland want to go in the opposite direction. They want a more open society, a fairer one that supports minorities and people who are struggling with benefits or universal credit or whatever, and does not punish them. So it's not just on immigration, it's on a whole range of issues. On energy, you have Liz Truss talking about fracking, about making it easier for companies to extract more gas. While, yes, gas and oil is very important for Scotland, but their goal seems to be, at least that of the SNP, is to move away from that, to work towards greener energy, because they understand that if they focus on that, they will become a powerhouse in Europe. So you have different parts of the United Kingdom tearing each other apart, tearing away from each other. You have England under the Tories trying to move further and further away from Europe, and you have Scotland trying to get back into Europe. the union is already over. It's just a technicality, it's just a formality, I should say, at this stage, that it will eventually end. Because the people are no longer united. It's just a formality that it will eventually break up. Because you need, in order to save the union, you need a Prime Minister in Westminster who is able to bring all of the United Kingdom together on board, to bring them forward, to lead them. Liz Truss can't do that. Boris Johnson can't do that. I don't know if Keir Starmer can do that. Unless he undoes Brexit, unless he's enthusiastically undoing Brexit, I think the damage has already been done, though. And this is the end. I think watching this speech, listening to what she had to say here, it contrasts so much with Westminster. It seems almost impossible to mend those broken bridges. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.